Hey everyone, this is Luke Cruz. I'm going to show you today a little demonstration of the basics of how to operate a motorcycle. This won't be a full demonstration of how to actually ride one, but I'm going to show you the basics of how you get familiar with one. It's a lot like driving a manual car in some ways, and it's also like riding a bicycle in some ways, but not exactly. There's three main points I want to go over. First is going to get prepared, have everything you need ready, and make sure the bike and yourself is ready to ride. The second point is getting familiarized with the controls and familiarize yourself with the whole bike. All right, the third step is actually getting on it and knowing the steps of how to operate it and know how to shift through the gears. All right, so the first point is getting prepped before you ride. You want to make sure you have all the gear that you need. Most crucial one is going to be a helmet, because that is the law in all 50 states. You do have to wear a helmet. You also want to have some good gloves. You want to have some good boots to wear, and you don't want to be dressed like how I am now. You want to make sure you have good long riding pants and a jacket as well. So that's getting yourself prepped to ride. You also want to make sure that the bike is prepped to ride as well. So a big thing that's good to do really before every ride is go around and make sure all of your lights work. Make sure your blinkers are working on the front and the back. You want to make sure your headlight is working. And you want to make sure that your brake light is working as well. Okay. Another big thing a lot of people don't check for is your tire pressures. Your tire pressure can change a lot faster on a bike than it can on a car. You also want to make sure everything else looks good. Your chain looks okay. Your shifters and there's all your cables and everything look fine, and that you don't see any issues. It's also good to check your mirrors as well before you take off. Make sure they're position where you need them. All right, the second point is familiarizing yourself with the bike and all its controls. So first, if you'll come in here, on your left handlebar, you'll usually have your clutch lever. On your right handlebar, you'll have your brake lever. And this activates the front brake on the front wheel, okay? Also over here on your right handlebar, this is always going to be your throttle. So instead of a gas pedal like on a car, you twist the throttle with your right hand. You're also going to have your kill switch on the right side usually. That right there will kill the engine and turn it off. You have to leave it activated for the engine to run. And this will also have your electric starter button right here. In the center, you'll have your key. Most bikes have the key somewhere up here in the center. Some bikes have it down on the tank. It may be down below the tank, somewhere on the side. But going back to the middle, you'll have your speedometer right here. You have an odometer, a tachometer. You'll have your neutral light, your bright light indicator, and your turn signal indicator. Okay. Also on the left side handlebar, you'll usually have your bright light switch, your turn signal switch, and your horn. All right. You'll have your two rear view mirrors. It's a very important part. Have a headlight on the front, turn signals. All right. You'll have your front brake on the front usually. You have your foot pegs. On your left foot, you will have your gear shift lever up and down. On a carbureted bike, see the carburetor, this manages the air and the fuel. You'll have a choke lever right here. You open that choke up to help it crank up, especially in the cold weather. And you have your gas cut off switch too. Cuts the fuel from the gas tank. You have passenger foot pegs on most bikes. Tail light, rear blinkers, tag. You'll also have a brake to your rear tire. And on your right hand foot peg, you'll have your brake lever for the rear tire. All right, the third main point that I want to go over is an explanation of how you shift through the gears and a basic explanation of how you're going to operate a bike. So the first thing to do when you want to take off is make sure usually that you're in neutral. The bike will roll freely. You'll see that you're in neutral with the green neutral light. You want to make sure that your kickstand is up, because most bikes have a switch. If the kickstand is down, it will kill the engine. It will shut it off if you shift into gear. It's just a safety feature, so you don't take off with your kickstand down. So you want to turn your key to the on position. Make sure that you're in neutral. Hold your brake lever to keep you from rolling, and press on the electric start button. And use the kill switch to cut it off when I want to. Basically, when you start out, you want to shift from neutral into first gear. So what you'll do is pull in the clutch lever with your left hand. You're going to push down on most bikes from neutral into first gear. Once you're in first gear and you want to go, slowly let out the clutch lever, while at the same time applying a little bit of throttle. Actually, you can give a little bit of throttle at first and slowly let out the clutch lever at the same time, and you'll start to roll forward. From there, there's a good bit of other skill that's involved. You have to be familiar with your throttle control and your brake control, and also become familiarized with how to turn the bike. So that's about it. I hope this tutorial gave a decent explanation of the basics of how to operate a motorcycle, and I appreciate you watching. Thanks.